So, what would be your maybe recommendations how to grow on the platform? I assume that like probably community might be one of those points, but anything else or anything that you would recommend?
So I think that is a very subjective answer in terms of what works for anyone. So I could say on my behalf only like what worked for me and what helped me grow. And that was one of the biggest factors there was that I used to share posts or my thoughts which were very relatable in terms of storytelling. So I think one key factor which I realized which used to work on LinkedIn was that when you're putting your thoughts or any kind of value in a way that it resonates with people in terms of a story, it used to work. Like 90% of the times, it used to work with people. I think this was one of the compliments I get from a person that she said that you write in a way that sounds like I'm talking to a friend. And I
Hmm.
feel that didn't happen very like instantly, but it took a lot of practice in terms of my writing skills and in terms of writing my thought out there, that it come started coming across in a way that people found it very relatable, for that matter. And I think that also explains the engagement, because there I have seen posts out there which strictly says that, oh, here are my 5 tips which you need to follow, and this will make things work for you. But to be honest, I would never say that. Like, that's a very personal opinion. There are people who are getting engagement and reach from there, but it never used to work for me. I needed to put that one anchor, that how does that add value in my life and how that could add value in your life. So if I've not experienced that, or if I've not gone through that kind of thing, it is very difficult for me to explain that to my audience that, oh, you need to follow this, because I noticed that that gap was bridged through storytelling, which I feel is a very important factor now. Also, working on LinkedIn, as you have noticed, that LinkedIn is pushing a lot of organic content, for that matter, be it your short videos or text posts. LinkedIn is actively pushing content which is like, oh, come to a day in my life, or here's how I'm actually working at my work, and not just giving you tips, for that matter. So I think that was my one of the biggest tips which I used to give people, that start showing up on LinkedIn, but as yourself. Don't try to be the LinkedIn guru from the first day itself, because
Oh my
that
god,
never
yeah.
used to work for me. Like,
And I feel like there are more gurus than enough. We don't need that more than there are.
I mean, I'll probably learn a lot from your personal experience, even if it's a win or even if it's a failure. Show me the behind the scenes. Like, I
Mhm.
just don't want to know that you got promoted, or oh, you got like 5 new people to do your podcast. But how
Yeah.
did you manage to do that? Like, I would love Tom to tell me that you had such a warm approach. For example, when you approached me, it was such a warm approach that instantly made me say yes to doing this.
Thank you. I
So,
appreciate it. Yeah.
so probably that's the hook, right? Here, that's the catch here. That it was your warmth and the way you approach instead of a cold email that made me say yes to your podcast, for that matter.
I agree. I was just about to say that I'm sure that you or anyone else can relate to it as well. That you get a lot of, I don't know, pitches or DMs and people trying to offer you something on LinkedIn, which, yes, it's probably part of someone's strategy, this and that. But sometimes, it honest, it gets quite annoying if people don't show any effort, like in how to approach you. Like literally, first DM, they try to offer you something. So when there's actually someone who does some kind of effort, whether it's the way they approach you, build some kind of relationship before, or just for some reason to stand out, it really makes a difference because you get bombarded with whether it's pitches or let's say some kind of content on your feed that's like feels like AI or anyone could write it. You just appreciate when there is someone who approaches you as a human or in some kind of creative way.
100%. And I think it doesn't necessarily need to be a DM, or you need to constantly be in touch with that person, for that matter. But even when you're showing up in public, even dropping a comment or just a sweet gesture in their comment section also helps. Like, even though you message me or DM me for the first time, I know you because not just from your post, because we have been constantly engaging on each other's posts. So that is also a way where we have already built a relationship, even though we didn't have a one-on-one conversation for very long on our DMs on chat for that matter. And that also helped me believe that you don't need to be constantly be talking to thousands of people to build relationship with them, so that you can possibly collaborate or anything like that in future, but also take small efforts in your everyday life to build that relationship, and it
Yeah.
definitely goes a long way.
It's true. And after all, LinkedIn is a networking platform. So
Yeah, exactly.
take advantage of it, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, today, if you have noticed, LinkedIn has introduced LinkedIn like comment impressions, right?
Oh,
So,
yes, that is true. I hope
yeah,
it motivates people to actually, make some effort with those comments
yeah,
and don't do what we
exactly.
discussed before.
I'm every day I'm seeing posts where people are talking that one small, very short comment where they really talked about their thought openly in the comment section. That comment itself is getting like 50K impressions
Yeah,
without
that's
even
crazy.
posting on LinkedIn. So you can imagine how important authentic engagement has become. Like it is taking you so much far away. Like if even if you're not posting. So I think that's one advice I also give to people who come for me to tip. Like, okay, you are scared to start talking about your thought at the one first go. So start out by actually building relationship with people by
Yeah.
engaging, and it could be with anyone relevant in your industry, be it your peers or probably even people you admire for that matter, who you want to potentially collaborate in the future. It could be those people where you're just leaving thoughtful comments or engaging with their post. They'll definitely have a recall about you much more than if you're sending a cold DM to them.
Mhm. I totally agree. I think it's a great idea from LinkedIn how to incentivize people to actually comment properly and not like those comments we discussed before. And people sometimes might be afraid to actually hit post, start posting because what are people going to think of me? I don't know this and that. So if people are actually afraid, start with the comments because now you can see that comments not only like people with experience such as you or someone else, they say comment it is very important, so do it. But now you can hear if you are afraid, just comment, build those relationships. It's much easier, and actually LinkedIn rewards that with those impressions.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, on that, I would really like to say that a lot of people come to me and say that, for example, if they are from data background for that matter, or are engineers, they'll say that, oh, Sakshi, it's very easy for you to say to build a personal brand because you're already working in marketing. So you constantly are communicating with a lot of people and probably writing copies and stuff for brands and constantly in touch with them. So it's easy for you to talk about your journey because you have stuff to talk about. And probably they say that, oh, marketing is an interesting and exciting kind of field where something or the other is going on. But I work in like a boring desk job where I'm working with numbers every day. So they tell me that, oh, but how do we get out there and talk about our journey or start building a personal brand for that matter? So, and I always give them this advice that be it marketing or be it a very fun job or be it a boring job, you'll always have a story because you are working
Mhm.
for it, right? And it could be in any way and every way possible that you could start talking about how your day at work went, like what kind of challenges you had to face, or probably how you overcame it. So it is never it is never an exception for you that you cannot post on LinkedIn, or you never have, oh, I don't have anything to say. You always will have, but it is important that you need to spot those kind of experiences, be it experiences or be it stories which are happening in your life. So you need to start developing an eye to see your life as like a movie where you can find snippets everywhere, talk about, and probably add value to your community.
That is very true, and I agree. And if people still have doubts or don't believe us, just look at LinkedIn and you'll see how many literally people from all kinds of industries there are. And there are people from industries that you may think that those are boring, but still there are people with huge followings and from all kinds of backgrounds. So there is always like stories, whether it's from your life, as you said, to think about your day or anything. Sometimes you just need someone to help you to find it, but
Yeah,
never underestimate, that it's boring or you don't have anything to talk about, because everyone has something to share.
I completely agree, and it always has to be there. And I feel you just need to be quite open minded about it, and just get rid of the fear of judgment, I'll say.
Mm,
And
yeah.
people might say that it's easier said than done, but what could be the worst thing happen? You'll get 0 likes and 0 comments on your post, but that is not killing anybody, right? So
Yeah, and that's pretty much how all of us started, because at the
exactly.
start you need to overcome this fear. And I think everyone goes through this in the beginning, because don't forget that even those that are way ahead of you, they started somewhere as well. And everyone, when they start, people are usually afraid, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I always thought I'm very shy of talking on a video for that matter, but look at me now. This is the first podcast I'm doing, and I feel good about it. So at least I started somewhere.